Okay, guys. So pleasant good evening to our listeners. It has been a little bit of time since the last time I was able to have a live because our schedules, or my schedule rather, was so hectic within the past 2 weeks. We had some seminars and a number of things. So, of course, we missed, like I believe, 2 Mondays as regards to this live that we usually do on a Monday from 8:30 to about 10. Good. And this particular live is one where we discuss the topics of hormonal disruption in women primarily. We're going to touch on the men today. We're going to talk about prostate health and why prostate health is important. And of course, we're going to speak about Batson Associates, our clinics, as regards to how we're now able to help individuals deal with these particular issues. Good. So you're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson Associates, where we support your health naturally. Keep in mind, we are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson Associates Ltd. And on TikTok, we are Batson and Associates. Let me say a pleasant good evening to Miss Chandra Sanka. Good night to you. Miss Marge Hills, a pleasant good night to you. And as I said, we are live on our TikTok where we are Batson and Associates. You're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates. So who are Batson and Associates? What do Batson and Associates, or what does Batson and Associates do? So Batson and Associates is an organization of trained consultants in what is known as integrative medicine. Now, integrative medicine is a broad spectrum of medicine in the sense that it takes from or borrows from a lot of other types of medicine. Let me say a pleasant good evening to Mr. Hayden Stewart. Sir. Good evening. Miss Rose says good night. She is watching from Dabadi. Your health information is so helpful and life-changing. Thank you. You're very welcome, my dear. Yeah, so as it relates to hormones and hormonal disruption and Batson and Associates, so as I was saying, integrative medicine is a type of medicine where you take from different aspects of different modules of medicine. So there are a lot of persons who are not aware that you have, for example, Chinese holistic medicine, you have naturopathic medicine, you have Ayurvedic medicine, you have holistic medicine, you have homeopathic medicine. So there are many different branches of medicine. And you also have what is known as allopathic or Western medicine. And in allopathic or Western medicine, you find that it is usually recommended where symptomology is treated. Now, what really is symptomology? Symptomology, or a symptom, is usually the end result of a cause. Good. And as we continue our discussion, we're going to touch on that. So there is always some sort of cause and effect. Very simple. Good. If you have hypertension, there has to be a cause for having hypertension. And by the way, we do have a integrative diabetic center, which actually deals with hypertension and posture, cramping in your calves, burning on their feet. If you are a diabetic who's struggling, you may be taking insulin and you're not really seeing the results the way that you would like it. Definitely, that is something we deal with. Lisa Farry, she says, good evening, Dr. Batson and listeners. Blessed Thanksgiving. Says grace and peace, Dr. Batson and Associates. Miss Vidya Abdul, she says good evening all. Happy belated birthday to you. Well, happy birthday, she says, blessed Dr. Batson. Thank you. It is in fact belated. It was the 17th. Thank you very much for all the greetings that I got on social media. More life. What they say, more life to you. So I take in that. Let me also remind you that we are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson Associates Ltd. And on TikTok, we are Batson Associates. You're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, who is the Senior Medical Director at Batson Associates. As regards to our offices and locations, where we do, I have been in practice for over 15 years. We do treat persons and have discussions, consultations with persons outside of Trinidad and Tobago, because we have a lot of people who actually come in to see us. But if you're not as fortunate to do that, we do online consultation. So that is something that you can do. And as regards to the health issues that we deal with, a lot of people would ask the question, so what do you deal with? We deal with a number of things. If you have problems with insomnia, as I said, this particular live is more educational. This is a question and answer. We would delve into some of the products that we carry at Batson Associates. And of course, we have some upcoming events. We have an event taking place on Saturday, the 16th of November. Make sure and keep that in mind. That is actually going to be taking place at the Southern Arts Center. That is an event that we actually had something for them earlier where we did a health lecture. So we're actually having another one based on popular demand, and that's be taking place in South Trinidad, and that's Saturday the 16th at the Southern Arts Center. I'm going to get the exact name correct because I kind of had it on the top of my head and I don't have my notes with me as regards to that. But Saturday the 16th is definitely something to look forward to. We're going to have some door prizes. We're going to also have some giveaways, some demonstrations. Definitely, it's not going to be a wasted trip. For any issues, and of course, we'll be discussing diabetes, hypertension, acid reflux. We'll be discussing things like neuropathy, pins and needles, cramping in your calves, burning under your feet, infertility issues as well. So a number of issues we would be addressing. Keep in mind as well, this is an question and answer segment. So those of you who are on TikTok, we are Batson Associates on TikTok, and you have a question, you can feel free to ask. I'm maneuvering through more than one phones here, so bear with me. Keep in mind, as I said, we are live on 3 of our social media platforms this evening. We are live on Instagram, which is Batson Associates Ltd, on Facebook, which is Batson Associates. It's Batson Associates Limited, and on TikTok, it's Batson Associates. Sorry, it's a lot to remember. Good. So we're discussing hormonal disruption in women. So let me first answer this question from Mr. Hayden Stewart. He says, hi, Doc, I have 2 questions. One is, what is the latest with international or shipping? And what is the best remedy for eye floaters? Okay, so the latest with international shipping, we're much further than we were before 2 weeks ago. So we are just finalizing some things because, as you know, with shipping, and depending on the products that you want to ship, you have 1 or 2 things to finalize with certain countries that you'll be shipping to. So that is something that we have organized or still organizing. So that's the update with us. So just bear with us. And as regards to best remedy for eye floaters, the Eye Optics formula, which is our eye drop we carry at Batson Associates, is actually a very good supplement, an eye supplement to use, because what it does, it actually cleanses and detoxifies the eyes themselves. Now, a lot of persons do not understand that your eyes, you don't see with your eyes. What do I mean? Well, essentially, you see with your brain, because your brain has to send certain messages, to different aspects of the brain, and the brain would now send those messages to your eyes, and that actually facilitates sleep. Eyesight or proper eyesight. The reason why I'm saying that is this. So if you have poor circulation in your brain, or poor cerebral vascular circulation, which is poor circulation in the cerebrovascular cavity, which is this, do you think it is possible for you to have good eyesight? Obviously not, right? Because your eyesight is dependent on a number of factors, especially cerebrovascular circulation. So if you have poor circulation in the brain, in the cerebral hemisphere, your eyesight is going to be affected. So you're going to end up with things like glaucoma, you're going to end up with things like cataracts, you're going to end up with things like macular degeneration, and a number of other eye issues as regards to that. So it's very important. If you have a problem with your eyes, you need to focus on your circulation to your brain. Think about it. You have 2 types of circulation in the body. You have pulmonary circulation, which is above your heart, and you have systemic circulation, which is below the heart. So it means if you have poor pulmonary circulation, which is poor circulation up here, and you have pulmonary hypertension or even hypertension, it is easy for you to end up with eye problems. And that is something we will discuss in a little bit. So before I go back to that question, let me, of course, give you the telephone numbers and locations. We are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. And those telephone numbers, of course, I am actually putting them on the banner for the Facebook and the YouTube. So keep in mind, we are Batson Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson Associates TT. And on YouTube, we are Batson Associates Trinidad. On TikTok, we are Batson and Associates. Good. So those telephone numbers again, 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. You can message that number, you can call and make your necessary arrangements to have your blood analysis done, your live blood, your dry blood. And I will describe in a little bit what that really is, what it entails. But we have a question. So let me see if I could address this question on our TikTok. We are Batson Associates Limited on TikTok. Batson Associates rather on TikTok. Honey Bunny 2 is saying, hi, I'm 47. My period doesn't come every month. It comes this month, but spotting, and it can be brown. Well, the thing is, we're discussing hormonal disruption. So anytime you have a problem where your menstrual cycle is not regular, keep in mind you're 47 years, so I don't know if you're close to menopause, but if you have had a history of an irregular cycle, if you have a history of a painful cycle, if you have a history of in-between spotting, heavy bleeding, then it means you have some sort of hormonal imbalance situation, and then you need to address that. Okay, Honey Bunny, so I would say as regards to that, that is definitely some indication of hormonal disruption. Let me also make a point here. All females, if you have a painful menstrual cycle, especially consistently, it is a serious, serious, serious indicator that something is wrong. I was speaking to someone recently and I was telling them, you do not get ovarian cancer, cancer of the uterus, uterine cancer, vaginal cancer, and all those types of cancers just like that. They would have had to start off first with hormonal imbalance. Okay, you never had pain. Okay, so not having pain is one thing, but you have irregularity. And I'm sure this is not the first time it's irregular. So if you have a problem with irregularity and or pain, it is an indication that something is wrong. A lot of women have problems with hormones. So if you have hormonal imbalance, we know what hormones are, right? Hormones are chemical messengers. So they're just that, they're chemical messengers. So they carry messages to different parts of the body, telling the body how much of a particular hormone needs to be distributed, for want of a better expression. So for example, your thyroid. So your thyroid deals with things like TSA, which is thyroid stimulating hormone. The T3 and T4, which are two forms of thyroid tests that they can do, blood tests. So for example, estrogen. If you have a problem, for example, with estrogen, and a lot of people have problems with estrogen, including men. So estrogen is a hormone that is needed for a number of different functions in the body. If you have a problem with excess estrogen, or what is known as estrogen dominance, you can have serious problems. In men, men can actually end up in situations where they actually end up with male breasts, which is known as medically as gynecomastia, which is where, because of the excess estrogen in that particular male's body, he now is diagnosed as having male breasts, or what is known as gynecomastia. Right? So it's a hormonal imbalance challenge. An imbalance in hormones cause that problem. Okay, Rishmi says, if period comes in time every month, but just lasts 3 days with a light flow. The question, Rishmi, was that the case all the time, or is that a recent situation that you're seeing? So in other words, I'm asking Rishmi, since the time your period started, is it that your period was always coming 3 days, or this is a recent development? Clarify for me. Good. One of the other questions as well, too, as regards to hormonal disruption, is the issue associated with insomnia. What is insomnia? Insomnia is the inability to maintain proper sleep, and it also has some aspect associated with inadequate rest. So there are a lot of persons who are actually sleep deprived. Now, sleep deprivation is something that a lot of persons have and they're not aware. And I could tell you something. You could be sleeping for 8 hours every day and still be sleep deprived. How so? Keep in mind, the main purpose of sleep is to do what? To rejuvenate neurotransmitters. It is also to produce or assist in the proper production of neurotransmitters. What are neurotransmitters? Neurotransmitters, so the prefix neuro meaning nerve, transmitters, messengers. So neurotransmitters are nerve messengers in the body. So you have things like epinephrine, norepinephrine, serotonin, melatonin. Those are examples of neurotransmitters. So the problem is, if you have problems with low neurotransmitters in the body, you are going to have a sleep problem or an issue with sleep. The problem is, if you have a hormonal imbalance challenge, if you have problems with hormonal disruption, you will have a sleep issue. That is why insomnia is one of the major side effects of poor hormonal balance or hormonal disruption or hormonal imbalance. About 5 years, it started like this. But when I started my period, was at least 5 days with medium flow. Okay. What I would say, Rishmi, and any female listening to this, you need to dot your I's and cross your T's. What do I mean by that? Get your pap smears done. When was the last time you get a pap smears? Pap smears are very important for determining and ruling out or even identifying squamous cells or different types of cells, which may be early indications of cancer. So that's why pap smears are a very important thing to do. Now, abdominopelvic ultrasounds are also important if you have a history of period problems. You see, the issue with a lot of people is that they are not proactive. A lot of persons, and I'm not speaking particularly about anyone here in general, but in general, and the problem with a lot of individuals is when you wait last minute and you wait for things to go bad, then you end up in a number of problems. So I have dealt with women who would have had issues with hormonal imbalance and they just left it. They have women who have fibroids and they just say, the doctor tell me the fibroid don't bother me, so I shouldn't interfere with it. Really? That is your best common sense approach to that? That don't make any sense. Where there is smoke, and I always say that, there is fire. So you cannot wait, especially if you're obese, you're overweight, because polycystic ovarian syndrome has very close links to what? Diabetes. Diabetes is as a result of hormonal imbalance or hormonal disruption in the body. That is what it is. So it means to say that, ladies, why you all think now we have so many women with cancer? This month is breast cancer awareness month. Do you know how many women are diagnosed with breast cancer on a daily basis in Trinidad and Tobago? You don't want to be in that. I would hope not. So the point is, cancer, at no point in time can you just get cancer. That's the next thing. And that is where the importance of cleansing the body, detoxifying the body, hydrating the body. You also saw me behaving terrible with someone recently on a video. And I was arguing with the person as regards to water. Because a lot of persons do not understand the fundamental need of the human body after oxygen is water. So if you are not properly hydrated or you're not properly hydrating yourself, you're going to end up in serious issues, serious problems. So again, it is very important to pay attention to that. Ms. Sarah Hutchinson is saying, what drink you can take to balance your hormones? Well, the thing is, there's a product we use at Batson Associates called Women's Formula. And this product is as old as my practice. So it could, or just as maybe about 14 years. And we have had success after success after success with that women's formula, because what women's formula does is actually balance the endocrine system. What is your endocrine system? Good evening. No Name Noel saying, hello, Dr. Batson. Please. Hello, Dr. Batson. Oh, nice to see you. Okay, No Name Noel. Same to you, Anisha Romero. Good evening to you. So as regards to Sarah Hutchinson's question, she says, what drink can you take to balance your hormones? Well, what we carry is not necessarily a drink. What we carry is capsules, which is actually a product. Well, there's a few products that we have for hormonal disruption and fibroids and polycystic ovaries and that type of thing. But the main product that I usually recommend is something known as Women's Formula. And Women's Formula is a product that is designed primarily to balance your endocrine system. So I was just saying that. What do you think is your endocrine system? Your endocrine system is the system where your glands are located. So that is your thyroid, your parathyroid, your pituitary, your adrenal glands. Good? So it means that if you have a hormonal imbalance problem, it means you have an endocrine problem. There's no probably, might be, must be about it. You all realize how many persons having problems with their thyroids now? A lot of persons having thyroid nodules. In fact, one of the symptomology of hormonal disruption is thyroid nodules. You find when women going through menopause, they start to get older, you might realize that you're getting swelling or discomfort in the thyroid. And then the thing is, when you actually go and they do ultrasounds of the thyroid, they actually find out that you have thyroid nodules or thyroid cysts. Now, that is something you don't want there. So there are various things that you need to do to actually get rid of that. One of the products that we carry at Batson Associates is a product known as Santulan. Santulan is a 7-channel detox that is designed to clean and detoxify kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. So your body itself actually has 7 channels in which it allows for elimination. Just clarify that and let me know that you guys are hearing me, right? Because I know someone had asked a question. So we are live on our social media platforms. We are live on TikTok. On TikTok, we are Batson and Associates. On Facebook, we are Batson and Associates Limited. And on YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. Miss Nicole Van Der Poel says, I need some Santulan. Are you in Trinidad? If you're in Trinidad, Miss Van Der Poel, you can get Santulan at any one of our locations. St. James. Okay, thank you, Miss Van Der Poel. You can get it at St. James. You can get at Debe, Chagonas, or, well, I don't know if you're in Tobago, but I know you, I believe you're in Trinidad side. Okay. Ms. Rosemary Noel says, Dr. Batson, my sister tried calling this afternoon to make an appointment for me. Okay. Which one of the numbers she called? What she can do, because the phones are usually pretty busy. We closed at 5. So I don't know if it was subsequent to that, but you can always send a message on 314-9975. Again, that's 314-9975, as well as 222-8261. But the 314-9975, it's right on the live there, is one that you can actually WhatsApp the information to us. Okay? Nice. Hello, do you deal with symptoms of perimenopause? Yes, we do. That is Decor by Cherry, is it? Yes, we do. The thing is, regardless of what they call it, whether they call it perimenopause or before menopause or during menopause or long after menopause, we deal with it, and we deal with it quite consistently. What I can tell you is that hormonal imbalance in women is a very painful, destructive issue that a lot of women go through. It really, really, really is a serious issue. Thank you very much, Ms. Roma Bagwandid. So you have to understand. So what you can do, if you want help, you have a problem, message us, inbox us. And please, let me be clear, and in a very nice way. I always say I'm not attempting to be facetious or condescending. But ladies, let me tell you something. When you're asking us questions, it's one of two things we need to do for you. Let's not waste each other's time because you're sick and you want help. And I believe when I am sick or I'm not feeling well, which thank God is a rarity, I make sure I move fast, quick movements, because you can't stay sick for long. Your health is your wealth. Good? So my point is, as regards when you message us, inbox us with the question that you want. Most of the time, we're going to recommend that you come in for a consultation. Listen to me. This is your health you're dealing with. Our consultations are not $1 million. You can find out, inbox us. We will tell you the price of the consultation. We'll tell you the office to call. Now, there are some products that you can buy and use and get great results. And we respect that. However, what I want to tell you, one of the things that you need to do, please, once you have it, make an appointment. You are going to get value for your money. We're going to find out everything that is wrong with you, all your blood tests, everything, bring for us. But we always recommend that you do our blood analysis, the live blood, the dry blood, and we also do a magnetic resonance analysis scan. There's a particular one that I've been using, well, different ones now, because every year or whenever they do upgrades, we upgrade. But what gives us the opportunity, or what gives Batson Associates the experience as compared to many, is, and I'm not trying to, ill speak anyone, but experience is very, very important. And hormonal disruption, as someone is so rightfully saying, this is not for women alone, it is also for men as well. Because there are a lot of men out there, they say, the statistics say that 52% of all men cannot maintain and get a proper erection. So if you have 52%, as a wise friend of mine said recently, if we have 8 men in a room, it means 4 of them can't do anything. And that is not something to laugh about. That is not something to joke about. If as a man you're not getting and maintaining a proper erection, something is wrong with you. And it could point to, again, hormonal disruption, because there is a condition known as low T, which stands for low testosterone. So make your appointment and check yourself. Let me touch a little bit on the people with hypertension, even though we're discussing. Okay, so let me just answer a very quick question here. Arlene George Oliver says, "Good night, Dr. Batson. How often one must use Santulan?" That's a good question. The thing is, you use Santulan based on your need of detoxifying. So you have to provide us with some key information, what type of job you do. So let me give you an example. If you are a jeweler, any jewelers in the audience? We have anybody who's a jeweler? If you're a jeweler, and jewelers would know what I'm referring to, it means you are exposed to very serious chemicals. People who are involved in jewelry making, ask them. They inhale a lot of poisonous chemicals. They deal with a lot. I believe one of the things they even deal with is cyanide. I believe. Don't quote me. But I know they deal with very dangerous chemicals. Welders, auto mechanic, hairdressers, painters. You see nail techs? I don't know what is wrong with these women who are doing this. And these nail techs will be very good looking, attractive young ladies. All they want to live long. Some of them are real nice. And all these nail techs. And you have a smell. I am in the same area or located in a building where somebody does that, and I am not close. I'm talking about several meters away, and our office door is closed, and we smell that thing. If you do those kind of jobs, ladies, gentlemen, please, please, please take care of yourself. I had someone, I'm dealing with a cancer patient right now. You know what was their job? There was a gas station pump attendant. You all heard what I said? A gas station pump attendant. There was a hairdresser who came to me some years ago, but when she came too late. We couldn't help her. And the reason why we couldn't help her is the body stopped accepting food. You see, whenever your body stops taking in nourishment or stop accepting nutrients, food, usually it means, God forbid, that you're going to die. Excuse me. And the reason why I say that is because the body has actually gone in survival mode. where it is reducing, because you know digestion takes a lot out of the body. You all know that, right? In order for you to digest your food, assimilation of food takes a lot of energy out of the body, which is usually why if you eat certain types of meals, you realize you get sleepy. So if you have a meal that is high in simple sugars, you tend to get sleepy. Well, you're going to get a spike, and then you get a drop. If you use simple carbohydrates, so a lot of rice, if you use a lot of white potato, a lot of bread, those things tend to spike your sugar, and then afterwards it tends to come down. But the point is, digestion and assimilation takes a lot of energy out of the body. So usually when the human body reaches a point, usually when the system reaches a point where it can no longer facilitate digestion, the body sends you into scavenger, not scavenger, it sends you into survival mode, and it cuts off your appetite. You realize when you get the cold, a lot of times, that happens to me. Whenever I get sick, my appetite goes first. And that is because your body is going into survival mode to use its resources to fight against the infection. So that's principally what happens with the body. So it's vitally important now that you pay attention to your body as regards to those things. So I was saying all of that to say a lot of the times you have to come and have your blood analysis done, come and have your scan done, come and do your checkup. Let us do a thorough integrative check on you so that you are now able to function properly. So the question that was asked as regards to how much santulan you should use or how often is dependent on the type of job that you do. If you're involved in chemicals, so you are. And ladies who have your husbands and your boyfriends and your fiancés, you all come and buy those cleanse for them, because these men are them very hard, and I'm fed up with some of them sometimes. And the reason for that is because men, for some reason, think that they are supermen, and they end up, majority of prostate cancer people that I have seen are men who work in either agriculture. If you're working in agriculture, once you're handling chemicals, ladies and gentlemen, you have to ensure that you take care of yourself and do your proper detoxes. You cannot be doing welding and not taking care of yourself. You'll eventually end up blind. You can't be an auto mechanic. You painting cars. You work in a garage. Or ever go into a garage? I have rare respect for mechanics. I like a mechanic. I just fix the human body. But mechanics fix cars. Somebody mentioned woodworking. Yeah. There's someone who came to us, and when they came, this person had a woodworking shop. It didn't last long because they came too late. The old people have a saying, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. Ladies, if you have husbands who do those jobs, I'm not saying that that's your purpose of as a wife, but help out your husband, because, you know, he's busy providing for the household. He ain't have time. You take care of him. Get yourself by Batson Associates, get a Santulan, get some of the Alcogen water, and there's a product we carry, which is a greens formula, and take it and let your husband, your mister, your fiance, wherever he is, let him take it, because too many of these people do these jobs and do not take care of themselves. Men real hard, no. I'm telling you all. I am one. But you have to listen when it's making sense. Why would you be working would you be working in woodwork? You spraying lacquer, you're spraying paint, and you're not taking a detox. And when you get prostate cancer, you're surprised? Really? 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 Yeah. So what it is you need to do is mind your business, fellas, and get your cleanse. You'll realize how many people getting prostate cancer now, men, is because of those same jobs. How would you be using things like Roundup and Gramaxone? Well, I don't know what I have on the market now because I'm not heavily involved in agriculture, but I know Roundup is something that they was used. I know Gramaxone, but they have different types of chemicals that they're using now. You are going to end up with problems. Somebody's asking about asthma. We deal with asthma. Asthma is not a hard thing to do. Asthmatics are people who get infections in their lungs and they have chronic inflammation in the lungs that was never dealt with. Anyone who has, you bring anybody with asthma at Batson Associates, anyone, I challenge you, and you'll see how fast we'll get them better. But they have to listen and you have to make the changes that we tell you to make, because you cannot be an asthmatic and using dairy. You're wasting time, you're wasting your money. And if you know you're licorice and you're greedy and you can't stop milk and eat cheese as an asthmatic, don't even waste your time to come. Because you cannot have asthma, sinusitis, and be consuming dairy milk. That is nonsense of the highest order. Sinus, all of them, all sinus. We will deal with sinus in 2 you don't have no sinus again. When you have sinuses, it means you know where your sinus is located? The sinus is located in here. Which is why when you have problems with your sinuses, who do you go to? You go to an ears, nose, and throat specialist, short, or what is called an ENT specialist. Ears, nose, and throat. You know why? All of them connected. Your eyes and all. And your sinuses, if you look at how your sinuses are located in the cerebral hemisphere, your sinuses or your sinus cavity, what are your sinuses called? They are called your sinus cavity, because it is a cavity. So when the sinus cavities become blocked, what happens? You cannot breathe. So when you end up in crisis or you end up with a flare, you know what it is? It is why is it that people, what is
the perfume, certain scent, soap powder. You might wash somebody, you might wash sheet for somebody, and they go and sleep in that sheet and it's dead, they're dead enough. They get asthma attack inside of it because the chemical now causes a reaction where it causes the sinuses to become inflamed. You see that word? Inflammation. Now they're talking about inflammation. When I know about inflammation 15 years now. 15 years. So when people talking now about everybody chronic inflammation, we know that long time. Long time. And we're dealing with it successfully long time. Somebody's asking about psoriasis, inflammation of the skin. But psoriasis is not only your skin. Remember, you have 7 channels of elimination in the human body. You have your kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs, right? Your integumentary system is your skin. Your skin is the largest organ of the human body, largest organ. If you have 7 people to come to work to do a job, but only 4 come, but the job that 7 has to be done, the job that 7 has to do has to be done. So it means the other 3 or 4 has to play catch up. Would it not put strain on you? Of course it would. Of course it is. Someone is asking about a colon cleanse. Yes, we do. We actually have one of the best in the market. A product called Santulan. It's a 7-channel detox that cleans and detoxifies kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. Somebody's asking about allergies. I like Alison. Alison asking all the questions. Allergies, same thing. And let me tell you something about allergies and people with allergies. Allergies are a sign of a compromised immune system. How so? Remember, autoimmune conditions are what? Autoimmune conditions are referred to as conditions where your immune system attacks itself. Not so? Right. So the thing is, but is that really the case? That is not really the case. That is not fully true. I'll tell you what is the truth. But keep in mind, okay, Alison says she's using Santulan. I am on Santulan. And Alison, how is your experience with Santulan so far? This is someone on TikTok. Keep in mind, we are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson Associates Ltd on Facebook, on Instagram. We are Batson Associates Ltd. On YouTube, we are Batson Associates Trinidad. And on TikTok, we are Batson Associates. Okay, Alison says, excellent. So, we didn't know that was coming. She says she's on the Santulan. She says it's going excellent. Glad to hear that. Right, Alison? So, Alison, you work on that and we will start to help you with other things as we go along. So anybody, any one of the live or anyone on the live, if you get on the live and you're inboxing us, make your question make sense, right? So make it make sense. It's either you want to find out information about a product, you want to find out, you want to make an appointment, and let us organize you accordingly. You're fed up being sick? You're fed up? Sexy Reps 79, arthritis, we're dealing with that. What people with arthritis have to understand, I'll tell you this, keep in mind we are live on our social media platform. We are Batson Associates Ltd on Facebook. Right now we are live on our Facebook platform. Arthritis, we dealing with that. We think arthritis is. And people with arthritis, let me tell you how all of this kill all yourself, or some of the doctors will tell kill all you. When you have arthritis, do you know what rheumatoid arthritis is? Let me see if anybody on the live, anybody, see if you can answer me and tell me what is rheumatoid arthritis. Because someone asked about arthritis, I'm going to talk about arthritis quick. Somebody's asking about thyroid and fibroid. We have things for that. We have things for things. It have nobody we can fix it. The only people cannot get better is hardened, narrow-minded, one-track mind people. You know, if it's that type of person, nobody. Nobody. I got different kind of doctrine. I just tell you like it is. Burning in the fingertips, that's a sign of neuropathy. Good. So someone gave us an answer here. Lioness Yancy. She said inflammation in the joints. Here by Crystal Harry says inflammation in your joints, and she put a question mark. You're quite correct. So that is what arthritis is, but that's only part of the answer. There are different types of arthritis. The main type of arthritis is what they used to call long time, they used to call rheumatism. Or ever hear they talk about that? You hear your great grandmother say she has rheumatism. Comes from the word rheumatoid arthritis. A rheumatoid arthritis is parasites in your bones. Let me tell you what I mean. I know you must never heard this before. Rheumatoid arthritis is parasites in your bones. So, let us set in for a little bit. We set it like pain. Let's set a little bit for you. You understand what I've just told you? If you have rheumatoid arthritis, you have parasites that are living in your bones. Let me repeat it for you. If you have rheumatoid, so let me explain to you why people with rheumatoid arthritis get so sick. Let me discuss rheumatoid arthritis for a little bit, right? There's a product we carry at Batson and Associates called inflammation formula. That product was particularly done for arthritis patients. That's one of the equilibrium line of product, which is a line that belongs to Batson and Associates, right? So let me tell you this. You want to know how to get rid of it? You have some work to do. So just think about it. If you have parasites, Alison says she's waiting on hers. Yeah, we actually got in stock, and we're getting some more this week. That's the inflammation formula. Yeah. So parasites in your bones. So let me paint a picture for you, right? All living organisms eat, and what they do? They excrete, right? So imagine if you have billions of parasites in your bones, and what they're doing is eating. They are feasting on your bones. So they're feeding on your bone marrow. How do you think people just end up with cancer and they tell them that they do bone marrow transplants and all that kind of nonsense? You have pathogens living in your bones. That could never be good. Never, ever, ever be good. It means you have immigrants. You have illegal immigrants. Excuse me. In your bones. And these people are not living there. They're not coming there to help you and paint and pave the road. And they come in to cause destruction. Parasites are what? A parasitic relationship is a one-sided relationship. We learn that as basic biology. They teach you various these relationships, things like commensalism and the other types of relationships, symbiotic relationships. So a parasitic relationship is not a two-sided relationship. It's not husband and wife where you give and take. It's not a give and take. Parasite taking everything. And what they're giving you is feces, parasite feces in your bones. And that is why people with rheumatoid arthritis have the level of pain that they have. You all just understand why I explained to you. You have parasites, species in down your bone. Think about it. And the reason why I'm saying it in the manner that I'm saying it is because I want you all to get the point and get the point in a particular way. Let me say a pleasant good evening to Miss Wendy Lewis, my dearest, dearest, dearest friend and colleague. I got your call, my dear, but unfortunately I was not able to. But thank you very much for the birthday greetings, and we will speak. Right? I see she put correct and a tick. So thank you for the correct and the tick, right? Yeah. So you understand what it is I tell you, so when you see people with rheumatoid arthritis, that is why they just get like this and twisted up and distorted. Because you have parasites in your bones. You have animals inside of your bones, and their sole purpose is to kill you when they come. How, in God's name, do you expect to be healthy? All you understand what I'm telling you? So if you have rheumatoid, yeah, and a lot of people don't know that, you know. Even some of the medical doctors don't know that. Rheumatoid arthritis is parasite in your bones. If you have, why you think people who have autoimmune conditions or what they call autoimmune condition, you know what an autoimmune condition is? Lupus, fibromyalgia, arthritis, diabetes. So when you get prednisolone, which is what the doctors give you, huh? When you get, all they could do is give you steroids. No, as a doctor, a medical doctor, they would know that steroids carry long-term side effects. They know that. They tell you that. But in their wisdom, and because of how they studied and what they learned, they don't know how to deal with it outside of that. So that's why you have people like myself who trained. You know, people with rheumatoid arthritis we have? We had clients who came to us in wheelchairs, and they're walking today, you know, and they don't really walking, they're running, you know. But let me tell you something. If you know you have rheumatoid arthritis, so let me make my stance clear one time, respectfully. If you have rheumatoid arthritis, and you have had rheumatoid arthritis for years, and you have been on steroids for years, prepare yourself. You have some work to do. Don't feel like you just come by Batson Associates and wave a man, a one, sorry, or we working with fairies. I don't work with Mumford and the fairies, and no, it's not a quick fix by us. Right? But if you do the correct thing and you listen, because let me tell you something, the human body functions on principle. Like with everything, Miss Wendy Lewis on the live here, ask Miss Wendy Lewis. She said, listen to me. She said, listen to me. Miss Wendy always says that. She said there's an order and a system to everything. And I fully agree with her as a former colleague. There is law and order and direction in everything. So if this is the body that you have to live in, you have to live in here, you know. Well, you understand that? Is inside of here, you have to live. Nobody don't live in here for you. Jason Batson body. Is Jason Batson have to live in this body when the day comes? So if your head hurting, you know, you always have headache, you can't sleep, you're constipated, you have high blood pressure, you have diabetes, is you living inside of that body, you know. So what you're doing on a daily basis to make the situation different. Yes, Wendy says there's an order to life. That is it. Full 100. There is an order to life. Pop Dog is asking about blood clots. We deal with blood clots and we deal with blood clots successfully. But listen to me. Anybody coming to us with a blood clot, you need to come with all your information. If it's one thing you'll realize with Batson Associates and the consultants, because it's a slew of consultants that we have. Good? Yes, children can use Santulan 3 years and up. We would just have to recommend the dosage based on the child's age, the child's weight. Okay? So, as I said, a good colleague of mine, I was fortunate to attend an event on Saturday. I wasn't able to make it Sunday because I really, really was tired. Needed to take some rest. You know, rest is important. But one of the things that the speaker said, someone who I have a lot of respect for, someone who is actually a cancer survivor. This person is a cancer survivor. Eh? He survived prostate cancer. He was told that he had a few weeks to live, and that happened, I believe, since 2010. I believe it was 2014. So it's more than 10, 14 years. And let me tell you something what this gentleman did. He went on a particular protocol. And he's the person who said it. And I totally agreed and respect what he said. He said that this is the only place for you to live in. You have to live in here. You don't live in your house. You know? See, your ladies get tired and confused. You have to live inside of here. The body that Almighty God gave you. You have to live in there. So you want to make it comfortable as possible for you. Because let me tell you something. When you're sick and your head hurting you and you're feeling good, and ladies, when your period come and your belly hurting you, and it's you have to live in there. You have to live inside of this head that is be hurting you when you have a headache. You want to walk with them same feet that you have parasites inside, eating out your bones, you know. All you understand why I tell you all, yeah? Rheumatoid arthritis is parasite in your bones. Wendy's asking what is Santulan. Wendy's Santulan is a 7-channel beta that everybody needs to get. It cleans and detoxifies kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. And let me tell you something. If you don't drink water, make sure and get yourself some alkaline water first. Let me tell you something about people and what I doing this for 15 years after God. Thank God. And I have lots of experience. Lots. And there's a boast. You'll see me, I just go places and people don't know who I am, and I just stay quiet in a corner because I really want nobody ask me a question. That's not all the time, sometimes, right? But the point I'm making is this. A lot of people do not take care of themselves. And they only wait until health is taken away from them. And we are live on our social media platforms. We are Batson Associates Ltd on Facebook. On YouTube, we are Batson Associates Trinidad. Wendy Lewis said it. She says, I am a testimony to the power of Santulan. Yeah, everybody talking about Santulan? Santulan is a 7-channel detox. If you didn't use it yet, you need to get some. And let me tell you something. If you don't drink water, listen to what I'm saying, say it properly and delight it. Because the thing is, in disseminating information, you want the information to reach correctly. Good? So I want you to understand that to drink your water, or the water that you're drinking, you should be drinking your body weight divided by 2 in ounces. I'll say it again. So if you weigh 100, let me just say, argument sake, 200 pounds. You divide that by 2, so 200 divided by 2 is what? 100. And what you are supposed to do now, the 100, that is going to be equivalent to 100 ounces. And you divide 100 ounces, or you find the equivalent of ounces, liters. So how much is 100 ounces converted to liters? You all have your phone, you can check it. Go on Google and type in conversion of ounces to liters and see how much 100 ounces is, and that is going to be the liter equivalent of water that someone who weighs 200 pounds is supposed to drink. You all follow me? Easy. Easy. If you have, let me tell you what Santulan is do. It helps with your energy levels. Fellas, if you're having problem with male function, it will help with that. Because remember, in order for your genitals to function, they have to have a good what? Blood supply. So if you have dirty blood, you can't get no good erection. Good? Now, someone is asking about Santulan. What is the cost of the cleanse? Now, any question you have, because you'll see how TikTok is, inbox us, and we will give you the information as regards. There are telephone numbers to call. The telephone number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. Again, that's 314-9975, as well as 222-8261. she is in New York, there's no problem. We ship in products out, man. We have Santulan is an easy product to ship out. Right now, we're doing some work on our website and landing pages and that type of thing to accommodate more of our international clients, and we will go from there. So inbox us there, and we will send the information to you. But inbox us, all you know that that's all your message private. Don't send the message to everybody to see it. I mean, if you don't like to do that at all, but inbox us so that we can get the information. Someone is asking anything for low heart rate. Yeah, man. Let me tell you something. It doesn't have a problem. If you have a low heart rate, it means you have a low pulse. If you have a low pulse, it means you have a serious imbalance with electrolytes and mineral imbalance in your body. It means you're having a problem with calcium, sodium, magnesium. Calcium, sodium, magnesium, potassium. That's how people end up with pacemakers. And I wouldn't recommend a pacemaker for anybody. You see, what you have to understand, let me explain something to you. You all have to understand that surgeons are necessary. Surgery is a part of life. However, it should be emergency. And I'm not trying to disrespect anyone or to be discourteous to anyone. But you have to understand that not everybody who tell you you need a surgery means that you need a surgery, right? I'll give you an example. Knee replacement surgery. But before I talk about, let me talk about how to use Santulan. Santulan is simple. Santulan is a tea. It comes in a pack that may be about broad like maybe the size of a palm. Inside of that pack has 3 tea bags. What we recommend is that the 3 tea bags, you take 2 cups of water, you put it to boil on your stove. I think in this modern day and age, nobody is using aluminum pots and things, right? So they pass that stage, or they have stainless steel and them proper thing now, right? Good. I don't think anybody using aluminum pots still, right? You shouldn't be. Okay, so what you do is you take the 2 cups of water and you bring it to a rolling boil. And after it comes to a rolling boil, you turn off your stove and you take the 3 tea bags inside of there and you put it in that hot water and you cover it down for 8 hours. That's 5 and 3. 8 hours you cover it down for. So leave it overnight. When you're bed and sleep, leave the tea there like you do it every day. And when you get up in the morning, you take all the tea bags together with the tea bag and the tea and throw it inside a 4-liter bottle, which is a gallon. So essentially, you end up with a gallon of tea, which you now keep in your refrigerator and you drink on an empty stomach as directed by us. Okay? So it's very important that you understand the importance of cleansing and detoxifying the body. Now, there's somebody by the name of Global Nick, and I let my people and deal with you. I always tell you, whatever issue with anything I say in my life, don't come in my life, right? I'm not looking for friends. All right? So Global Nikki 29, right? If you have a issue, come off my life. Good? Nice. Right. Crystal Charles says, good night. What do you recommend for constant tiredness? Okay, Mr. Hayden laughing. Yeah, Hayden, we've taken that kind of disrespect. I don't understand why people will take their precious time and come and read. Hear people saying something I don't agree to come off. Anyway, right, tiredness. Now, there is something known as lactic acidosis. There's also something known as acid reflux. And there's also something known as GERD. Okay, the number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. Again, that is 314-9975, as well as 322-8261. Again, 222-8261. You could call that number tomorrow, please God, and we'll have persons standing by, and they will be able to take your call. Keep in mind, we have open clinic days. Also, those of you from the Southland, keep in mind, Saturday the 16th of November, we are having a health and wellness seminar at the Southern Arts Center. Right? That's the Art Society there in South. I'm going to get some more information for you guys as regards to that. and we're going to go from there. As regards to Port of Spain, closest to Port of Spain will be our St. James branch. So we have 4 locations primarily, soon to be 5. Somebody is asking, Keon Jackson, anything for circulation? Keon, we have our office full of things for circulation. One of my area of specialization is diabetes. So if you're treating diabetics for years, it means you're going to have a lot of things for circulation. We have a tea called balanced circulation. We have a tea called, we have the balanced circulation is the capsule. There's a tea we have called circulation regeneration tea, which is a very, very good product as regards to assisting individuals with circulation. We have a product called Women's Formula. I have women that swear by this product. We had people who couldn't get pregnant, infertility, and that Women's Formula helps. You know why? Because Women's Formula helps to balance the endocrine system. And our integrative diabetic center, you'll look out for that. We already, now the thing is, you don't necessarily have to come to Londonville. That's the new office that we open in on Londonville, on the main road in Londonville. And that's going to be doing a number of things. But we also deal with integrative diabetes center. We have an integrated PMS center in terms of how we deal with individuals, integrated hormonal disruption. So women who have serious problems, these women that's suffering out here with all these problems associated with hormonal disruption. Anyone in this group here, anyone online ever had a panic attack? Or ever know what it is to experience a panic attack or to suffer from anxiety? It's not a good thing. It never happened to me. But based on my knowledge of anatomy and physiology and how and how the body works, it causes a lot of problems. It causes a lot of problems. So I don't have to experience it, obviously, to know the pain that these women go through. But when women have serious hormonal disruption problems, and when they have serious issues associated with their health, especially as it relates to menopause, it's something I want all of you to get and to understand. Ladies, after you go through your menopause in your life, you know, some always boast and say, okay, you went through, it was good. You didn't have any hot flashes or anything. Listen to me. If you do not mind your business and take care of your hormones, you are going to end up in problems. These women getting these hormonal imbalance issues 10, 15, 20, 25 years after menopause. You know? And half of the doctors they're going to don't even understand that is that. You know why? Because they're not following the breadcrumbs. You got to follow the breadcrumbs. You know? And that's one thing Batson Associates very good at doing, following the breadcrumbs. But to follow the breadcrumbs, we need to do a blood analysis on you. So everybody just talk about price. There's an economic consequence to everything. Every single thing. We can have to go and take a mark. I didn't just go by the bar and sit down and say, boy, mark me, and walk out the people place. I have to pay for the mark. There's an economic consequence to everything. But let me tell you something about our people and Caribbean people in general. We are not proactive people. So tell me, do you want to wait until you become diabetic? Get diabetes. Get diabetes, you know. Lose a foot. Lose an eye. And then you decide to get serious. Well, you get serious too late. And that's a little too late, you know. No, I'm not saying that that doesn't give you the right to live. But what I'm saying is that why wait for things to get so bad? I was speaking to someone, let me say a pleasant good evening to Mr. Sodra Ramdeen. She was at the event that I went to on Saturday. And we have a lot more events coming through. That's a name you'll be hearing a lot. Right? And the gentleman who gave the testimony about the cancer, which we were speaking about, as he so rightfully said, you have to live inside of this body. You have to live in here. You have to live in here. This is yours. So when you have alopecia and all your hair falling off your head, and you ought to be wearing a wig or sewing, that's wrong. I find that real wrong. You're trying to have men with better, healthier hair than you. What went wrong there? What causes alopecia? Alopecia, as they want to pronounce, however you want to pronounce it. It is inflammatory issue of the scalp. You all realize the culprit again? Inflammation. Inflammation. So you would realize, as it relates to inflammation, inflammatory response is not a good thing. When these are things, we have anything for insomnia, when we are saying we have things for everything here. You just need to make a call. Or let's take some time out of a busy schedule, because all of us busy, we have to be running up and down the place. But if you're tired, somebody asking about constant tiredness. If you're constantly tired, it means something is wrong with you. Remember, the human body strives to do what? Maintain balance. Maintain what? Homeostasis. Maintain equilibrium. Those three words mean the same thing. Equilibrium, homeostasis, balance. They will just write it a different way. But it's the same thing. So when your body is out of alignment, it has to go back in alignment, right? Just like people have physical manipulation, hormonal disruption. A lot of women have hormonal disruption now. And I'm saying to you, take up the phone or to make a call. The number is 314-9975. 314-9975. That's our WhatsApp. You can take the number when you get some time. You write out, my name is ABCD. Your stuff is remaining confidential because in 15 years we deal in this, we deal with hundreds, we deal with thousands of people, in fact, all over the world, right? If you're abroad and you want an online consultation, we would do that. What we're doing right now, we're tying up, dotting our I's and crossing our T's right now. There are a number of things we're working on, right? Someone is asking about insurance. We do not accept insurance as yet because there is no law in Trinidad and Tobago right now that facilitates insurance for natural therapy. It's not like Canada and certain parts of the United States and that type of thing. But again, that's something we're working on as well. But as I always tell people, and that's the thing, insurance does not accept some of these things as yet in our country, but in other countries they do. But, you might just have to buy the bullet and spend your money and take care of yourself. That's why I tell people. Because at the end of the day, sometimes what the insurance covering is not what you need, right? So that's a decision that you need to make for yourself. And that's something that people know for years. You can imagine you have rheumatoid arthritis. I just explained to you all that rheumatoid arthritis is parasite in your bones. You can imagine that? I am sure that people who have arthritis and they never hear that yet. Tell my life. Location. We're located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That's Money Talks building in Montrose, Shagona. That telephone number, again, you can call is 222-8261. That's 222-8261, as well as 314-9975. You can also follow us on our other social media platforms. We got TikTok. We do have stuff on TikTok, but you find you can follow us on Facebook. On Facebook, we have Batson Associates Ltd. Batson Associates Ltd. on Facebook. On TikTok, we have Batson and Associates. On YouTube, we have Batson and Associates Trinidad. Yes. And then we have Instagram, which is Batson and Associates TT. Good? Someone is asking about uric acid. Yeah, we deal with uric acid. Yes, we also have an office in Dede. Dede office is still there. It is the corner of Ramsey Trace and the SS Erie Main Road in Dede. So that telephone number is, you can get on to any of the offices. We also have Shagonas. The thing is with Shagonas, if it is you are debilitating or you have a mobility challenge and you're getting problems to walk, maybe coming upstairs, Shagonas might be the office for you. The ground floor offices are Red Edge Mall in St. James. We also have Dede, which is the corner of Ramsey Street, and the SS Erie Main Road in Dede, as well as Londonville. Londonville is also a ground floor. Those offices were specifically done to deal with people with arthritis, and because we're going to be doing a lot of work with stroke patients and that type of thing as those locations. As regards to the consultation fee, you can inbox us for that. I do not call price on any of my lines. I don't do it. And that's something I practice that I've practiced for years, and someone who is much older and wiser than me taught me that. Right? It has places where you can go and you will get the information with the price. As I said, inbox us and we will provide the information. I don't like when I'm discussing health to discuss price because I find I don't like how it comes across. in all honesty, right? So I ask people to respect that, and you just inbox us, you call us, you WhatsApp us, you get the information for the price. If it's other, like where we actually do an advertisement, where the price and everything is there, good, no problem. We have a lot of that on our Facebook. All right. Alison asking, do you have any written books? No, I have not published anything as yet. I actually was supposed to do that like maybe about 2 years ago, but because of my current work schedule and our next project that I'm doing right now as regards to our doctorate, it's kind of taking up a lot of my time. So I will work on that in due time. So there were some questions here on Facebook. Let me just run back over to Facebook. Ms. Regina Morris said, I'm suffering with that right now. Can't even travel on public transport. Can't be in crowds. Exactly. I am fed up. Goes to all different kind of doctors. All they want to put me on is anxiety medication. They're saying I need to see a psychiatrist. No, well, that is what they just normally tell people. And as you so rightfully said, that is what we call the Dustin diagnosis. You all don't understand what hormonal imbalance is. Everyone on this life would have heard at some point in time the term postpartum depression. You all ever heard about the term postpartum depression? You would have, right? What is postpartum depression? What is postpartum depression? Postpartum depression is depression that a woman would get after she has given birth to a baby, offspring, right? Women with bad enough postpartum depression will kill their children. Which mother you know in her right function, in a well proper mind, would kill her offspring that she just gave birth to? Not a woman in her right mind, right? So it just goes to show that is a serious case of hormonal imbalance. That's what postpartum depression is. Postpartum depression is as a result of a nervous breakdown based on a number of things. Central nervous disruptions and hormonal disruption in the body because of the pregnancy situation. The same applies to women with PMS. Why I think women who have PMS and all those issues are in the situation that they're in? Because you are not in your well function. Your body is not functioning properly. Your central nervous system is not functioning properly. When you cannot sleep, it is a serious indication that something is very wrong with you. And if you have to be dependent on sleeping tablets, well, God help you. God help you. Thank you very much, daughter of the king. So it is a situation where you have to, must, bound to deal with the root cause of the problem. Your gut health. That's why I talk about Santulan so much. Because Santulan is a 7-channel detox. It cleans and detoxifies kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. I just told you all that wise gentleman said, you know what he said? He said, you have to live in here. You living inside of here. Inside of here is where you have to think, where you have to concentrate. When you go and sit down to do work or whatever job you're doing, and especially if your job is you see the thing with a lot of people just work. Take care of everybody, and don't take care of themselves, and then they die. Dead or no, they didn't even die. They didn't even die. They're dead. They suffer. Someone is saying, Trini, I'm a bear. She said, I swear by Santulan, the stuff that came out. Yeah. There's a client I have in Tobago. You know what she told me when she was Santulan? Janissa Jerome asking what is Santulan. Santulan is something you need to get, my dear. Santulan is a 7-channel detox. So it cleans and detoxifies kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lung. However, there are 2 types of people who cannot use Santulan. Let me tell you all one time. If you have low blood count, so if you are anemic, whether it's iron deficient anemia or any other types of anemia, we do not recommend that you use Santulan first. You have to get a consultation. And if you are dehydrated and you are hardened, stubborn, and you do not drink sufficient amounts of water, and you all know all yourself. The people who don't drink enough water know all themselves. And all they know all themselves. All they know all themselves. They know the foolishness they're doing. Those of you who try to replace water with coffee and tea and juice and soft drink, you know yourself. Stop doing that. Stripping it. Nonsense. You're trying to kill yourself. Good? Do you have poker root? No, we don't have any poker root. So somebody's asking where you can get Santulan. If you live abroad, WhatsApp us on 868-314-9975. You see that WhatsApp number? 314-9975. 314-9975. WhatsApp us. Tell us what it is you want. You can inbox us. Here, inbox us. When you inbox us, we can give you proper information. And make your question, you know, little sensible. I'm not saying that you're asking a stupid question. You all understand what I'm saying, right? But make it make sense to us, so that when we go through it now, we know, okay, Miss Jane, her problem with endometriosis, she wants to find out something. We can now message Jane and say, girl, here what? We suggest you do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You come in, you get a consultation, we organize, and then in a month, 2 months' time, Jane's better than she was before. Right? Because you have to understand that you cannot be sick for 50 years. That's the next thing. Let me hit all of this. You cannot be sick for 59 million years and come to Batson Associates and expect us to fix you in a month. No, no. I don't work with the Smurfs. I don't work with people from Sesame Street, Mumford and them. We're not working with the Pixies, the Tooth Fairy. No, no. There's no magic here. Proper, scientifically documented, because a lot of people don't understand that you have different modules of medicine. Different. So what you have to understand, okay, somebody's asking about what do you have for cleaning arteries? We have plenty of things for that, man. We have a product called enzyme formula. We have had clients who came to us, did echocardiograms and angiograms. We worked on them, cleaned the arteries, improved the heart, improved something called ejection fraction. And we have results to show it. Look, when they come into the integrative diabetic clinic, anything for vertigo, we deal with that. Vertigo is when you have dizziness. You're not getting. Everyone who has vertigo has a problem with blood circulation in their brain. They have poor cerebrovascular circulation. You are not getting enough blood and oxygen to your brain. You need to mind your business, because that is a serious thing. Serious, serious, serious thing. Dementia, we deal with that. But let me tell you something about people with dementia. Dementia patients are people, again, poor cerebral blood vessel circulation. If you were to take all the blood vessels in the human body, you take capillaries, arteries, veins, you join them together. Do you know that they can make the circumference of the earth 2.5 times? 66,000 miles. Yeah. That's to tell you how extensive the circulation network is in the body. 66,000 miles. And blood is responsible for transporting what? Oxygen and nutrients. So what? The cells. Cells give you tissues, tissues give you organs, organs give you organ systems. Fibroid embolization, I don't like it, because when people who do fibroid, if they do either embolization or you do myomectomy, the fibroids still come back. You need to deal with the root cause of the problem. Okay? So it's just up close for our life to come to an end. I'm seeing my TikTok phone, and because of where the phone is placed, I can't really charge it at this point in time. I apologize for that. But we had a very good run this evening. We had some good questions. Let me just talk to Mr. Hayden quickly. He says, hello again, Doc. You were talking earlier about allergies. The Santulan is helping a lot in terms of my symptoms I usually have. What other products you recommend for me to improve my sinus and congestion? Definitely the enzyme formula. Enzyme formula is a product we carry at Batson Associates. It's actually a very good product that we use. That's a multifaceted product. And that's because of my training in enzyme therapy and what is known as automolecular medicine, which is medicine or nutrition for disease. So you have clinical nutrition, you have medical nutrition. Right? Tobago office is at the Triangle Building. For the Tobago number, again, you can also call 222-8261. We have very good products for circulation, everything, and we have really good products as well, and protocols for blood pressure. I have a client in Tobago, her blood pressure used to be 250 over 140. That's madness, that's stroke pressure. And we have regulated it, and she's getting averages now of 118 123 over 80 and things. I feel real good, what's me? Because that client, she was in some problem. So we can help people. We can help people. So call the telephone number is 2228261. That's 2228261, as well as 3149975. That again is 3149975. You have been listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson Associates, where we support your health naturally. So whether you know headaches, whether you have a problem with a painful menstrual cycle, you can't go in the toilet properly, you're having loathing, you have dandruff in your scalp, problems. You want health, you're serious, you have low energy, because this is the only place for you to live. The only place for you to live is inside of here. So you have to make sure inside of here healthy. Good? Those telephone numbers again and locations, you're located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That's Money Talks building in Montrose, Shagona. We also located in Dede. Dede is the corner of Ramsonwood Street and the SS Erie Main Road in Dede. We also in Shagona. Shagona is first floor Money Talks building in Montrose, Shagona, sorry. Tobago is the Triangle building in Scarborough, Tobago. Tobago, we have specific days for y'all. We actually now putting certain things in place for Tobago. We have some work to do there. That is what we're doing right now. Keep in mind, we are live on our social media platform. So share the live. All you ladies who are friends with polycystic ovaries, fibroids, ovarian, endometriosis, this, that, the other, share it. Help somebody. Because the problem with a lot of people, they don't talk and they just die unnecessarily because they didn't open them out and somebody else would have been able to help them. Weight loss, man, we have plenty of things for weight loss. I tell you, we have thing for thing. So as we always say at Batson Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Remember, check out the Santulan, that's the 7-channel detox. Inbox us, check out the circulation regeneration tea, that's the key for blood pressure. Check out the women's formula, that's for hormonal imbalance. Men, we are things for it too, we have prostate formula. We're getting a new product just now called male balance. Because we have to take care of the fellas too, right? Because happy wife, happy life, right? Good. And take care. God bless. I have a live for you guys early in the morning. Early in the morning, we will be discussing male health. We're going to be talking about prostate, and that is going to be on our live. I'll do that live maybe tomorrow. Please God in the morning. You all will get a live for like about 7 o'clock. So when all on the way to work, I'll make some noise in all the air. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Be safe. Do some little deep breathing exercises before you go and sleep. And it's 9:54, so you're supposed to be eating heavy, anything heavy to go and sleep right now, right? Take a bath. If you're married, take a little jam, take some deep breathing, and go and sleep and get up early in the morning. Say your prayers too. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care. Bye-bye. Facebook family. So, again, always a pleasure to be in company. Remember those telephone numbers. If you are overseas, WhatsApp 186-314-9975. Always a pleasure to have you guys in-house. And as we always say, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. God bless. Mr. Stewart, so the enzyme formula is the product, but we will talk later on. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Take care.